Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Judith, and if you're new here, for the next 300 and something days, I decided I wanted to design my dream life publicly. And since my last video, so much has happened. Firstly, we hit 10K on YouTube, which was a huge milestone for me, and I'm so appreciative and so blessed. And secondly, just so many things have changed. So many things have changed. My goals have changed, my outputs have changed, and I actually wanted to reflect on what I've learned in the past 3 months. I started YouTube, I would say about 4 months ago in about 7 days' time. It would be exactly 4 months since we started this whole journey, and I opened up. I was transparent about my goals, about what it is I want to do and how I'm going to do it, and how I want you all to hold me accountable. And this is the check-in. This is the first check-in of this journey. As you would have seen in my March vlog, if you haven't seen that, go back. I think it's a really good one because that was a pivotal moment for me. I stepped back from a lot of what I was doing and said, okay, this isn't working. This is working. This could work better, and revamped my whole life and outlook. And some things worked and some things didn't. As this is a progress update video, again, I'm not going to focus on whether or not I hit milestones. It's more the output. I'm very ambitious when it comes to doing things. I think I can do everything in 24 hours. I genuinely think this is my world and you are all living in it. And that's not the case. A lot of things have had to be adjusted purely for the fact that I now have YouTube to think about, for example. And when I started this journey, YouTube was not something that I'd factored in. So bearing all of that in mind, let's get into what we discussed the first time we sat down, and I'll give you the update on everything. Okay, so I have my mind map that we went through in the first ever video on my Mac. So if I'm looking there, that's what I'm looking at. And I've got my phone for my notes so I don't go off track, just for context. First up, we have content creation. Now this one has been the hardest sticking point for me, and I will explain why. Now with the content creation, I had very ambitious goals. I wanted to be consistent. I wanted to be loud. I wanted to be everywhere. Now, I think in my defense, I mistook being loud with being consistent. They're not the same. And I'll explain. Being consistent means that you're just doing an action over and over again, in my opinion. Being loud means you're being vocal. Now, being vocal doesn't have to be consistent to be as effective. I don't know if that's making sense. And the reason why I say that is, while I haven't been consistent with posting 2 videos on TikTok per week, which was my aim, I have been consistent with building a presence across YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. All of them for the past 4 months. And that's been tough. There was a point when I started the YouTube journey where I was posting twice a month. For those that are creators that are watching this, I know I'm not alone when I say editing takes up so much time, especially long form editing. TikTok is not the same as YouTube. I'm not a novice in that regard. I do understand that. However, I think I underestimated how much time and resources it would require. And that was a learning curve for me. And so in that journey, I'm like, okay, 2 videos a month is not realistic for someone that's also doing TikTok, also on Instagram, trying to be on Instagram, also now on LinkedIn, and Substack. I even forgot Substack. It's a lot. And I'm not saying this as a call out that, I can't manage my time properly. We'll get into that. Or I need an assistant or virtual assistant. I don't. It's just about splitting my time in a more efficient way and still getting the same results as if I was consistent on one platform. But the one thing that I wrote here that's at the bottom but should be at the top is be loud. And I've done that. I have done that on LinkedIn. I've done it on Instagram. I have done it on TikTok. I have done it on Substack. I have done it on YouTube. I have consistently been loud for the past 4 months. So everything is connected. And that's what I mean when I say the evidence is not in how many videos, and that was a mistake I made, is not in the how many, but it's the value that you're adding to each platform and to each community. And that's what's so important. And I've done it consistently, and it's been very rewarding in so many ways. And I'll get into the most important one in just a moment. I'm moving my Mac here, so I'm not looking down so much, but I did mention in the first video that I'm introducing a sub-newsletter. is it a sub-newsletter? Like a mini newsletter outside of the Trendgeist, which will be a bit more personal and share things that I'm taking off the shelf, quite literally. It's called Off the Shelf. And I launched it. I did. It did really well. And I also posted it on TikTok, and that video did really well. And I'm going to be filming my next one in a couple of weeks. So that will be really, really fun. I did it. I did the thing. I'm doing the things. So that's exciting. I was meant to be posting one YouTube video a month. Like I said, overzealous. I did 2. So we are back to 1. And I feel really comfortable now. Like, I don't know if you can tell the difference in me talking now versus my first video. I was so nervous. I'll be so real with you. I wasn't even breathing. Like, it was so funny to watch back. I can't even watch it back. It makes me cringe, but it was so funny to watch back. And I definitely have grown the more I've recorded and the more I've just opened up with all of you. So that's been really fun to do. So I think the one area that I know needs the most work is figuring out a new way to quantify the goal of being loud without making it my whole entire world, if that makes sense. The reason why I say that is if I want to post 2 TikTok videos a month, 1 YouTube video a month, a Substack newsletter a month, I will have no time to do the things that will pay me, basically, for the work that I'm doing. And I keep saying we'll get into it, but I think this is a perfect time to talk about career and jobs. So this whole Design My Dream Life story started from me quitting my job about a year ago and being on the journey of building my startup. I've had the opportunity to explore different areas, different fields, and figure out what is it that I love about this and hate about this. Would I love to do this as a full-time career or not, or freelance? Like, what do I actually want to do? So the past year, I feel like I mentioned this in the video, but if not, the past year I have styled, I have creative directed, I have brand designed, I have web designed, I have produced, I have video edited, I've done everything you can possibly do as a freelancer. While there were certain things I loved about those roles, I knew that that wasn't a career path for me. It's more an interest, it's something that's like an add-on to what I want to do. And so the past 4 months have been so pivotal for my life because I think I've stepped back and been able to see where my strengths lie. And the place where I feel like my voice carries the most weight is when we talk about strategy and creative strategy, to be precise. This all stemmed from wanting to be a thought leader in the space of fashion and fashion psychology and consumer behavior. And somehow I've lent my voice to certain topics where people want to hear more about what I have to say in fashion and in culture. And I love that. I think that's incredible. But I will be honest, I think my posting these topics that I'm interested in and I have interest in perspective on has led me down the rabbit hole, if you like, of seeking out a new career. And for that, I'm grateful. I think this is what I forgot it's all about. I forgot it's all about designing. And when I started this whole journey, I didn't have an end goal. Like I said this at the beginning, it was not a glow up transformation type of video. It was my personal journey. And on this personal journey, the past 4 months, I have had immense clarity that this is what I would need to do as a career. And so that's where I'm at. So with all of that said, I think this is a perfect segue into the next point, which is creative consulting. So what I wrote here was be loud about services offered on Instagram and LinkedIn and start a POV series showcasing my work. I actually posted my first LinkedIn post on all of this yesterday, which is so funny. And I'm going to start pitching myself to brands, but I have a strategy in mind, which is be public about it, speak about it. I've been speaking about these topics for months and it's all been siloed on TikTok, and I've slowly and gradually been spreading it across the different platforms. I'm very much ready to go back to employment. I'll be honest with you. Freelancing is not fun. Freelancing without the connections or the tangible experience. I don't want to say tangible, but corporate experience, that's the best way to put it, is tough. But I'm there and I'm ready to just see what happens and where I can go with this new career. So yeah, your girl's going to be applying for jobs in creative strategy. So send a prayer my way. Thank you. As you can see, all of my Design My Dream Life points, they connect and merge in some way, shape or another. And While that wasn't necessarily intentional, it does make sense because it's a whole life. Like when you're designing your life, it's important to remember that it's you versus you, like the version of you today versus the version of you tomorrow. Who do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? And here we are. A lot of it's connecting, a lot of it's coming together. And I'll be honest, I was very nervous to do this because I thought to myself, like, come on, it's been 4 months. What could have happened in 4 months? Clearly a lot. Clearly a lot. Next, and I think this links perfectly, is personal development. I wrote get a moonlight job, and in brackets I put upskill in sales/marketing experience and in fashion, bracket. I would have mentioned my part-time job at the time. I'm still there, 2 days a week max. I've learned so much. I was thinking about it the other day. This has been so valuable. I didn't know what to expect. I've never worked in retail in my life. I never worked as a sales associate ever. But I've learned about sales, I've learned about the market, the luxury fashion market, the resale market, which I think has been the most valuable for me. And just it's really fun to just be on the ground on something, like building something. Yeah, this experience has been invaluable. And I'm so glad I did it to show that I am a self-starter and I am very passionate about this work, because I will go to any length to learn, learn about the industry and learn about a role. So it's a win-win either way. And it's been great. It's been really cool. The next point under personal development is to complete a course in PM/marketing. I've started a strategy course because that's more aligned with where I want to be, where I'm trying to go with the creative strategy role. If you have any questions on what I'd recommend or my approach to becoming a creative strategist, then do let me know. I can probably make a video on it if there's enough want or need for it, but that's still in progress. I think the fact that I've found a career path in and of itself is the biggest highlight of this whole update. And I really need to give credit to that because, like I said, I was nervous about doing this. I was nervous about talking about my progress because I'm like, what if there hadn't been any progress? But that in itself is progress because in February, I had no clue what I was doing. Like I did not know where I was going with my own career. I just knew I talked about fashion here, I talked about culture here, and I talked about, you get the drift. You get the drift. The last point under personal development is to read 12 books. This is the one thing, I'm going to be honest with you, I have not found the time. That's been the toughest one to admit because in order to write, I need to read. So if I'm not reading, I'm not writing. It's not good, but because I stopped and started my 75 medium, so I stopped January before we started Design My Dream Life, and I said I'll be bringing it in around like April/May. I did, and I started on the 31st of March, so I've read every single day because I've had to, but not because I want to, and I don't like that part. I guess that wasn't part of the requirement, but it affects how much I absorb and retain. If you have any reading tips, I'd love to know them because I just don't like feeling like it's a chore. And this is coming from someone that used to read when she was growing up. Like I remember I was 12 and we had like a reading competition in my library and I read 22 books in the space of 2 weeks or 12 days or something silly. I didn't have a life, but like maybe that was why actually. Ignore me. Yeah, that's probably why. Next up, fitness. Under fitness, we had 75 medium. I started on the 31st of March. Like I said, today's day 51. And I've worked out or hit 10K steps every single day since the 31st of March. Now, because it's a medium, I don't have to work out twice a day. The rules are quite free, I will say. I think it was 75 hard. I'm not there yet. I definitely do want to do this twice a year. So I did say at the start of the year, at the end of the year. So the last quarter, I think I'm definitely going to go again and maybe try hard at that point. Who knows? Maybe I can do it then. But the rules of 75 medium are you still need to read 10 pages. You still need to drink a liter of water a day. You need to work out at least an hour a day. It can be indoors or outdoors. On the days that I'm at work, for example, I make sure I hit minimum 10K steps and close my exercise ring, which is an hour worth of exercise. So it could be outdoor walking or indoor walking up and down our steps. Like literally, I have burnt on average 15,000 steps when I'm at work. So I know my body's working, and technically they're seen as active rest days, I think. So we've been active every single day for the past 51 days. I did say I wanted to include running more, and I got marathon FOMO, and signed up for the 2026 London Marathon. So if I get it, it's a sign. I might cry while I run, but it's a sign. I'm not keen to run, I'll be honest with you. I think I think at the beginning I was just like, I need to move my body. Like I need to feel something. I've definitely felt something. It's 51 days. I felt everything I could feel and I don't need to run. But I've been including a lot more cardio in my workouts and core exercises, which have been so painful but fun. And I've definitely seen the results. And I was saying on my Instagram stories that I'm thinking of making this 100 days long instead of 75. I'll see how I feel. And then last we have lifestyle. Lifestyle was the most interesting one. For me, now I'm looking at it, I wanted to be consistent with therapy at least 2 times a month. I have not gone. I'm struggling to see if this is a bad thing that I haven't been. The biggest hurdle I think I've had to overcome is this feeling of, am I doing too much? What if I'm wrong? What if it doesn't work out? And I did open up on my Instagram stories. I've had my tears. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep sharing. And those very encouraging DMs telling me the same thing, like, keep going. And that's it. Like, I just need a couple days of like, oh, life's so hard. And then after that, I'm fine. So I'm just like, do I need that? I don't know. I don't know. I think between this and reading 12 books, those are the 2 areas I can hand on heart say I have not fought for or tried to make work, which isn't great, but I don't think I genuinely need this right now. I'm open to your comments and your thoughts on that. After that, I wanted to eat clean, high protein, low fat, medium carb. We've been doing that. We are doing that. Obviously, for 75 medium, it's been strict up in here. And then after that, I had a clear credit card. And I didn't focus on that intentionally. I'm not trying to give anyone any financial advice. I'm running away from finance, as my dad would say. I'm not running away from finance, but this is not what this channel is about. I am on track with that. It's manageable now. And so I don't feel like there's like, something on my neck to be like, oh my God, you need to fix this. It's just a cost of living when you're not getting any income, which is why I'm like, I'm ready to go back to work. I'll be so transparent, guys. This freelance life, I don't know how people do it. I genuinely do not enjoy that part of not knowing where your sustenance is going to come from in terms of financial stability. And so I miss that part of being employed. That's the one thing I miss, is just knowing that there's a steady income coming in and you can actually think and breathe. And I'm ready for that to be my reality again. Under that, I put travel. As you saw in the last vlog before this video, went to Copenhagen, which was on our list for a very long time. It was fun. It was a good girls trip. We just haven't had one, to be honest. So it was great. I'm so happy we went, and we are working on the next one as we speak, which is so fun, so exciting. As you can see from my smile, I'm alive, I'm living. And that was a key part of designing my dream life. I did not want to feel like my life is just stuck between these 4 walls because I don't have any income or because I have to change my life. It's a genuine thing where you're immersing yourself in that life that you want. You need to work all day, go co-work. You need to be at your laptop applying for jobs, go do it in a nice cafe. Make your life something you look forward to before you have something to look forward to. I cannot emphasize that enough, because I think it's very easy for your mental health to be in the gutter before you change your life. And I just don't think that's productive for anybody. I need to feel motivated. I need to feel alive. That's when the ideas come. That's where I'm most liberated, if you like. It's where I'm allowed the space to think and feel and live and experience. It's from my experiences that the ideas from my TikTok come. It's from me observing things in real time and in real life. So yeah, I recommend for anyone that's going through the same thing, go to a local cafe, go to a restaurant that you always love and just order a coffee and sit there with your laptop all day. I think fitness has been the biggest learning curve for me. I was going 4 days a week. I was loving it. I could see the progress. I could see my whole body changing. And then all of a sudden it just stopped changing. And I got really frustrated with that. And I remember saying in my first video that I'm trying to detach myself from this dream body or the dream goal. I just wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel stronger. I wanted to feel more fit. It's a lifestyle change, and it's not a physical, just one part of my life that's changing. My whole life needed to change in order for that to happen. And I definitely feel like the 75 medium snapped me into shape. I had no excuse. No matter how I felt, no matter what I wanted to eat, I had to show up. And now I was saying to my best friend, it just feels like my lifestyle now. That's why I can go on for 100 days. I feel like when the 75 day ends, I don't want to fall back into old habits. I definitely want to keep this up. And that's been my biggest win, I think, of this season, where this is now who I am. I just want to bring this back full circle. Why was I doing this in the first place? Why did I want to design my dream life? Why did I want to share that journey with you all? I remember saying at the beginning that this is a personal thing. This is not another trend video. You can take me out of it and put yourself in it and it would still work for you. But this is about me. This is about habits that I want to cut. This is about the dream life that I can see for myself. It literally just feels like it's almost there. And I just have to keep going. And this is a way to hold me accountable. And for me, my why is I have always been passionate about showing the messy middle. I already said this. It's the most important part, but it's the one that skipped over the most, where everyone just sees the glossy finish and the premeditated start. Like, the beginning where you tell everyone your plan and then you go quiet and then you come up with, and I did it, guys. And it's like, okay, but how? I think that was the hardest part, because I was like, how do I show this to you? How do I document when I just don't feel like documenting? Like, how do I be consistent with my glow up or this journey when I don't feel like I'm glowing up? But I said all of this in the beginning. Change doesn't feel like you're changing until you change. It doesn't feel like anything's changed until you sit down and you look back. And I think that's where we're at now. In 4 months, I have a clearer career path. I have been consistent across all 4 channels. I have traveled. I have sorted out my finances. Like, I have done a lot. I've been consistent in the gym. It's been a great 4 months. And I think it's really important to not lose sight of what it is you have done in order to get to where you're going, because progress is not linear. It's definitely not a clear path for you to decipher and break down ahead of time. You have to do it in real time. And so the vlogs were a perfect way for me to do that. I didn't feel any pressure to show that I'm actually doing things. It's just, this is where I'm at right now, guys. Like, this is what I've learned in January and February, and this is what I learned in March and April. And I hope it's been valuable for you too, to just see that it's messy. It's quite organized, but clearly we're getting somewhere. I had a question that I actually really wanted to touch on before we round up. And the question is the dream life still the same, or has it evolved? It is still the same. It just has a name now. It has steps. It has order. It's systematic. It's strategic. I think it's evolved in the ways that I described in this video, where it's not necessarily the outputs that I listed that make the most sense anymore. I've had to be realistic with my time. I've had to be realistic with my output, and I've had to be realistic with my creative process in order to get the best value from a thing and out of a thing. And in doing that, I've learned a lot about me and how I work and how I thrive. And there's a certain confidence I have now to apply for certain roles where I'm like, I've done this, I'm well versed in this area, not from experience, but from knowledge. And knowledge, it just gives you a bit of confidence to do and tackle certain things. If that's part of the process of designing your dream life, then I'm loving this season for sure. My next 30 days are focused on cracking down on the career path. My website just went live yesterday. It's judith.work. Do check it out. I needed a place where I could have my socials, I could have my work, I could have my thoughts, my stuff, everything in one place. I designed that myself, very basic, but it does the job and I love her. And I just want to say, like, I'm very much still where I was in January. I'm just wiser. I'm more calculated. It feels like I know what I'm doing now. And I love that for me. I think before I was just going in blind. And if you know me, you know I'm someone that loves certainty. I love clarity of a thing, and I had none. And now I just feel a bit more settled. I don't know if you can tell in my voice. I just feel measured. It feels really like I'm coming into myself, and I love this energy, and I hope it continues this way. I've never been more sure of a path in my life. I've never been more sure of this journey, and I hope it shows. I hope it translates. And yeah, that's it from me. That's my update. There really isn't too much of, hidden gems in this video. This is just me being honest and practical about where I'm at and where I want to go. Please do comment if there's anything that I haven't touched on that you've learned on your own journey of designing your dream life, whether we're doing it together, whether you've already started before me, or you're just starting now. What would be your biggest takeaway so far? What would be your biggest lesson? How are you doing better than you were last month? Let's talk in the comments. I'm really, really keen to know. As always, you know where to find me. TikTok, Instagram is at JudithLola_, and Substack is thetrendgeist.substack.com. If you want to connect with me on a professional level, I am on LinkedIn, and I will link everything in the description box. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I believe that's episode 4. Bye.